Shut up. On Posharella. Shut up. Things that you can never do. I want a druggy like you know, like sleeping. I'm not like that. Do you understand? I'm not like that. You're getting fucked in the ass. You're the villain. Everybody knows. You're the liar and you're the villain of the show. Everybody knows. You're pathetic.
I told Samantha. I said, me, before this show, this is how they described you to me. First, they said, oh, you married an old rich man.
The Real Housewives of Abuja reunion dropped today. And guys, woof, it was heated. And you know the funny thing, it was not really heated from the beginning. At the beginning, everything was looking all kumbaya-ish. And I was thinking like, hey God, what's happening here? Is this thing gonna be boring? But then, it became heated. First, when Tutupie joined, and then later, when Jaruma joined. Guys, it went like from 0 to 100. And I loved every second of it. However, I have questions. Yeah, I mean, definitely Gloria Elijah is always going to have questions. So I have questions. Now, the first question, which I believe I have asked before on this channel, but about a different reality TV show, is the definition of realness, guys. What is the definition of realness to you? What is the definition of fake to you? Because the moment Tutupie walked into the set, she was like, the fake ones had issues with the real ones. And I was wondering, like, okay, who was real on the show and who was actually fake? So I would love to hear from all of you. We're going to get into it on this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. So please make sure you watch till the end, okay? And yeah. Officially, you are all specially welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory, and I am the girl with the tea. As usual, I want to urge you all to go ahead and share your opinions, your perspectives in the comment section of this video. And guys, do not forget, tomorrow we're going to be having our FSWG Saturday YouTube live stream. There is a very, very important conversation to be had, all right? And I would love to hear your perspective on that conversation. And just to give you a heads up, we're going to be talking about the young Nigerian content creator that had an interview with the BBC and exposing Nigerians, or some Nigerians who embark on their Jackpot journey, you know, saying one or two things about how Nigerians do not necessarily need the certificates, that they just apply to universities, you know, as a guise to get into those countries. Guys, it was huge this week. So that's going to be the conversation for tomorrow. So I look forward to hearing from all of you. So please do not miss out. Now, quickly, without further ado, let's get into this video. So first off, massive accolades to the stylists that put together everything the ladies were wearing. Massive accolades to the makeup artists. Massive accolades to everybody that made the ladies look great, because they were actually looking regal. They were looking stunning. Oh my God. I just loved how they were looking. The set of the reunion, it was giving. I loved it. And I was going to give accolades to production team, maybe the editor, the videographer, everybody that, you know, shot the whole thing. But it wasn't 100%. They tried though, but it wasn't 100%, because I noticed that for some weird reason, whenever the camera was on OJ, right, it kind of went blurry. And I was wondering, like, I don't understand. Are people missing the depth of field of this whole process? What's going on? Yeah. But there was so much clarity. I loved the video, the quality, the picture quality. That's what I'm trying to talk about. I loved the picture quality. It looked beautiful. It wasn't too reddish like the Real Housewives of Lagos's reunion show. That one, we complained and complained about the picture quality of that reunion. It was the torture to watch, yes. But this one, well, I love the fact that the tone was not too reddish. It was just excellent. I loved it. And then talking about the host, Akan Nani. You know, yeah, I was really excited that they did not use Utinwa Chuku this time around. Yes, because I just needed someone different, someone fresh. My frank opinion. I mean, you might think otherwise, right? So Akan Nani, well, for a moment, actually, when it was announced as the host, I was kind of scared. Like, is he going to ask questions? Well, I must give it to him. He actually really tried. And, you know, Aka has this very, very sarcastic way of being, you know, of asking questions, and this very, very shady way. And I liked it. It was kind of giving, it was kind of working. Although you could tell that he was very, very keen on the teleprompter. I mean, guys, come on, you could tell that he was actually reading from somewhere. Yeah, because I was expecting that, guys, here we are, focus on us. But most of the time, you find out that he's actually trying to catch up with whatever script he was reading. But he actually did great. He tried. And I loved the fact that he was not particularly trying to restrain the women when they were going at each other, right? Like lions. I loved the fact that he allowed them, you know, to go at each other when they were having their heated moment. But anyways, now let's move on to the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is all the drama that happened the entire season of the show, and how these women, you know, are able to confront each other with regards all the nonsense they said about one another during their confessionals and even on the show. Now, beginning with Samantha's bond party, guys. I mean, we all agreed that Samantha gave a wrong theme to a wrong event. Yes, bond, but then it ended up being a pink Barbie event. So yes, she herself took her fall gracefully, like a queen that she is, that, well, Bond girls don't wear pink. But then obviously she was wearing pink on that day. So that was that. But then there was also the talk about Jecoco Princess, of course. Princess wanting to take the show, take the shine, you know, take over the party. Guys, if you all recall that argument that they had about Princess insisting that her mother had to be served food first, guys. I remember that episode. I was not particularly happy about it. I'm like, who is this one? This is somebody's party. Why are you trying to come and take the shine? Are you the host? Is it your party, as the ladies will call it? I mean, guys, I find it weird that these women would call party party. I'm like, hey, what's going on? No. Anyways, I did not like it. I felt like she was just trying to take over someone else's party. For Arafa, it was just plain disrespect, coming to someone's party and trying to tell the person what to do and how to, you know, handle the affairs of their event. You know, it just did not sit well with her. Now, speaking of Arafa, the conversation about her being a pole dancer and a stripper arose from a viewer's tweet, of course. Now, Arafa was giving us the difference between being a pole dancer and a stripper, which is another question I said I was going to ask all of you. Please, what is the difference between, you know, one being a pole dancer and a stripper? Because from Arafa's definition, a pole dancer is, you know, more like, what was that thing that she called it, guys? I can't really remember at this point. But for her, she was actually teaching pole dancing to married women for empowerment, to empower them. Whilst stripping is, you know, removing your clothes and blah, blah, blah. But guys, you know the funny thing, yeah? Here in Nigeria, when you tell someone that you're going to a strip club, automatically they know that you're going to a place where there are poles, right? And then different people, ladies, they mount those poles and they strip and they dance on the pole. So they are actually doing both on a pole. They are dancing and they are stripping on the pole. So when Arafa was actually defining those two, I was kind of confused. So that's a question to all of you. What is the difference between being a pole dancer and a stripper? Please, because as I am like this, I don't know. Still on Arafa, guys, if you all recall, I think still on that episode 1, Arafa had said that she does not really know Princess like that, when Princess was insisting that she knew Arafa from way back, right? And Arafa was saying that, oh, that where Princess probably knew her from was from her, is it her niece's secondary school days, you know, when she used to visit her niece in secondary school. So like, oh, so like she was just kind of trying to shed light on the fact that she's way older than Princess, right? And there was definitely no sort of relationship between herself and Princess before the show. But guess what? Lo and behold, the receipt that Princess was spilling, guys, it sent me gagging, because Princess was saying that actually, the first time she and Arafa met, they met in a club. They were actually standing at the same place. In fact, it was even Arafa that, you know, corrected, or I think it was Princess that corrected, they were actually in a club, right? So they met at a club, and according to Princess, Arafa had pleaded with her to attend her sip and shop event. So guys, I just felt like Princess's question was actually valid. You know, for someone that you claim not to really know, like the person does not know, you don't know the person, how come you were actually pleading for the person to attend your event? Or could it be that Arafa had selective amnesia at the point when they met on the show? Or could it be that she remembered Princess, but she just did not want to remember her at that point? Guys, what do you think about it? Because for me, I was just having a good laugh. I was having a good laugh at the way the two women were just exposing details. I mean, I'm like, eh? So there's actually more to this drama than we saw on the show. All the while these conversations were happening, Tutupie was not physically present. Comfort also was not physically present, but she joined virtually as she had gone on a business trip to the US. And oh my God, Comfort looked stunning. Yeah, she looked stunning. Anyways, Tutupie joined, and her response to the host's question about her experience on the show was that the problem she had was the fake people were not being real. The fake ones were having issues with the real ones. Hence the question I asked you all at the start of this video, that who would you say was actually real on the show, and who do you think was fake? Because if we're going to define realness in Tutupie's context, it meant that she was the real one because she was the one bringing the drama. She was the one that came across as uncouth and unrefined on the show. That she was the one that would open her mouth and say whatever, whether negative or whatever, whether trashy, about people doing her confessionals. So it would mean that she that was able to just open her mouth and rah was actually the real one, whilst the likes of OJ, who was more comported, and Comfort, who was also very, very comported, and Samantha, that wasn't really saying much, were actually the fake ones. Guys, I mean, I'm just saying this from the context of the show, but I would love to know your own thoughts about it. So what do you think about our own definition of realness and fakeness, and what is your own definition of realness and fakeness? But away from all of that, let's quickly move on to the matter of finding Tutu a lover. I loved the question Akan, the host, had asked Arafa, that did she think it was right to have involved Princess and Comfort in what Tutupie had requested of her, that's to find her a man. And Arafa's reasons were that she felt like Princess was sort of like Tutu's old dog, that they've come a long way, and Comfort is also from the north, just as Tutupie, you know, so she felt like Comfort would also know what works. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. I mean, that's a fair enough reason. But then, guys, you know, the thing about these women on the show, you know, especially with regards to the relationship between Tutu, Arafa, and Princess, you never know if they've actually come a long way or not. Because 1 minute on the show, it's looking like, okay, between what's her name now, Princess and Tutupie, there seems to be like probably like a 7 years hiatus, right? I remember Princess mentioning something like that in the final episode of the actual show itself, that she and Tutupie, they had known each other, but then after she got married, there seems to be some sort of break between them, right? And then with Arafa, between Tutu and Arafa, there seems to also be a break, you know. So personally, I wouldn't even go to someone that I haven't been friends with for a long time. Like, we were friends before and then we had a break. I wouldn't even go to that person to tell the person to find me a man, right? And I would be offended if the person went ahead to involve other people, especially involving another person that is actually a stranger to me. So guys, I just did not even know what to make of the situation, because I'm like, okay, maybe they actually did this to create content for the show. So if it was actually created for content, why did it escalate so much? Why did it blow up into a big issue at the end of the day, right? I mean, Tutupie, you yourself went to go and meet someone like Arafa to find you a man, and then you're getting offended with all that. Hectic. There were tweets attempting to drag Comfort over making reference to Tutupie to be in demon mode in a conversation she was having with Princess. I think that was in episode 2 or 3. Can't really remember at this point. Now, Comfort was asked to explain, and I love the way she explained it, that she was only mirroring Princess's statement about Angel, that they were actually having a conversation about looking for or finding a man for Tutupie, and Princess was talking about how Tutupie likes the bad boy vibe, and Tutupie also said it herself during her confessionals that she loves dating bad guys, you know, bad boys like that. So I loved the way Comfort explained it, that she was only mirroring what Princess has said. You know, she has a colorful way of having conversations. And guys, I mean, as a student of English language and literature, I could totally understand. And I'm going to be frank with you, I don't think I actually saw a problem with that statement when that episode aired. So I was kind of surprised that people were actually making a big deal out of it, you know. But then I decided to throw a bit of shade at Comfort when he said, I get it. That's why you don't really understand the meaning of lit. Guys, I'm just paraphrasing, but it was kind of hilarious the way that came out. But I'm also happy that Comfort did not find it offensive. I'm happy that she took it in good faith, because hey, that's what it's all about, the shades on the reunion. And it was at that point that Tutupie also opened up that most of the issues that she had with Comfort on the show were the words used, because as at that time she did not know Comfort. Yes. And I'm like, okay, fine, fair enough. That possibly explained why she would always react to most of the things that Comfort would say on the show. And guys, I mean, now it actually makes sense, you know, and it's kind of a bit understandable that when you don't really know people like that and you don't even have a relationship with those people, when they say certain things, even though they don't mean the words that they used, you will read a lot of meaning into it, especially if you are a very, very sensitive person and one who is prone to getting easily triggered. I mean, Tutupie even said it on the show that she has a bad temper and she could get triggered by things. The next conversation that was had was the issue of ageism. And I'm going to be frank with you guys. Of all the reasons and all the excuses that the women were giving, honestly, I don't think they actually had like a valid excuse. Yes. And yes, we've all agreed before that with a show like this, there's going to be a lot of editing. So one can never fully understand the whole context of a conversation that was had. But from what we saw, you know, this issue of ageism, it ran from left, right, and center. It ran from A to Z. Yes. You know, there was the passive aggression from the young ones to the older ones, from the older ones to the younger ones. And yes, I understand they were all trying to make a point at one point or the other. They were all trying to explain something at one point or the other, hence the references that was made to their various age levels, right? And even their statuses. I think one person that's actually guilty of the status shaming a lot was OJ. OJ will talk about, oh, we don't play on the same playground, we want to, you know, that kind of thing. Yes, I get it, but for me, no excuse from any of them. They all were guilty of such. Yes. However, I love the question that the host asked Comfort about if she thinks that age equals respect, and I love her response to that. I mean, for those of you that have watched the reunion show already, I mean, guys, for a fact, we know that age does not determine people's maturity level. Age does not equal respect. It does not mean that if one person is older that they are more respectful. It does not also mean that if people are younger that they are more respectful. Guys, I think it's an individual thing. It's a thing of grooming. How well have you groomed yourself and grounded yourself in morality, in ethics, in knowing, in fact, just basically having emotional intelligence. Now, there was also the conversation of, you know, people getting cosmetic surgery, Botox, fillers, and this was actually coming from Princess, of course. I mean, guys, in a way, I kind of felt sorry for Princess, because even though she was holding her ground, it was very obvious that most of the things that she had said during her confessionals against the women came back biting her in the butt during the reunion show, because these people literally went all out to get receipts of Princess's before and after face. Yes, before her face where she had very, very deep smile lines, and then her after face after she had received fillers, right? And she had claimed that she was influencing for a brand, because obviously she's an influencer. But guys, the way Arafa put it, that, oh my God, that look, you know, people literally went to go and dig out that video Yapu went to dig it out because during one of our confessionals, she had talked about, oh, the women were jealous, blah, blah, blah. She looks younger. She's this and that. These ones, they've gotten surgery. Arafa said she wanted to clear her name. So Arafa had declared that aside the surgery she had during a C-section, she had never ever had surgery again. And by the way, Arafa was looking like a queen in her wedding gown. Arafa literally went all out to wear her wedding gown to the reunion, because according to her, the first time she had actually really felt like a queen was on her wedding day. So she had to wear a crown, you know, signifying the queen of shades all through the season, and then her wedding gown, of course. This scene was particularly heated, yes, between Tutupie and OJ Posharella. Guys, the whole thing just went from 0 to 100. Yes, OJ seems like she still has a lot of scores to settle with Princess, and she and Princess, they were, you know, having a bit of a go at each other, and she was trying to explain something, actually. She was trying to explain something, and then she kept on referring to Tutu as Princess's twin. And that kind of irritated Princess to the max. And guys, even me too, I was kind of put off because I was thinking like, girl, if you have something to say to Tutupie, there she is seated right there. Call her name, throw the shade directly at her. It's not like she's actually absent, but she kept on referring to Tutupie as Princess's twin, and that really completely pissed off Tutupie. And then they started going at each other. But then I did not really like the fact that Tutupie was calling OJ fat. I didn't really like that. And guys, that wasn't even the end of it all. She even went as far as saying things like OJ gets shagged in the ass. Guys, you all recall the final episode of the show, of the season, right, where OJ had revealed that she was a virgin, you know, and this woman is in her 40s, I think, and she's a virgin, you know. People were asking that, okay, but you look too experienced for one who claims to be a virgin, right? Me, I don't know what to believe, to be very frank with you all. I don't know what to believe, but Tutupie kept talking about having receipts, talking about, oh, you that calls yourself a virgin, you getting smashed in the ass, blah, blah, blah. I have all your stories in my hands. And guys, that got me scared. It got me scared because I told you, I don't know what to believe, and I cannot say that Tutupie was lying or OJ was actually telling the truth. I don't know. But these women, they are all based in Abuja. And they roll in similar circles. Remember, Abuja is not that much of a big place like Lagos. In Abuja, if you're amongst the social class or the top classy people, you know, word goes around a lot, rumor goes around a lot. So people will definitely know one or two things about people and they will talk. So it got me scared. It got me scared. But anyways, it was a very, very heated moment. Tutupie, OJ having a go at each other. But guess what? For this reunion, OJ was not particularly the mainstay of happiness. Nah, she came with her guns blazing. You come for me, I come for you. You are seated quietly, I come for you as well. She was literally firing heavily at Tutupie and Princess and guys. Nah, it was fire. But in the midst of all of that plenty talk, one thing I did not like though was the fact that I felt like Comfort was kind of sidelined. Yes, because from the screen of the monitor that she was showing on, she kept on indicating that she wanted to clear her name about the whole fillers and Botox issue, but nobody gave her the floor to speak. And that was really annoying because also at some point, it felt like Comfort was in the reunion virtually, but not really a part of the reunion because we were not really hearing her say a lot. And most of the time, they kept on asking Tutupie questions a lot, Tutupie and Princess, because it felt like production just wanted those two people to be flaring up at every given opportunity so that they will bring drama to the reunion. And I'm like, come on, people. You people can still go ahead and ask any other person questions and we will still get the drama that we want to get. Why are you people only focusing on Tutupie and Princess? People want them to burn the studio down. And the matter of Tutupie's pool party was also addressed. I mean, guys, we had that conversation when that episode aired, and Tutupie still stood her ground that it was a party, so she was going to go ahead and do whatever she wanted, right? And the people she invited as her friends, that they are above the drinking age, so she did not see any issue inviting them. You know, it wasn't going to be a thing of her going to tell her friends or the women that, oh, I want to invite younger people or older people. Like, nah, it just did not make sense. Once again, again, to be fair on Tutupie, I will agree with her to say that yes, it is a party. She has the sole power to determine or to decide who she wants to invite to a party or not. However, just as I felt and what I said when that episode aired, about not really liking the combination, I will say it again. That crowd did not mix. It's like you having a party with your older friends, that people are having like this exclusive party type of thing, and just because you feel bored, you decide to go ahead to spite them by inviting your very, very young friends. I mean, guys, I would also feel uncomfortable in that situation. What do you guys think? Just go ahead and share in the comment section. And finally, the much awaited guest Jaruma joined the ladies on set. Now, for me, there was something fishy about the way the whole thing went, right? The way the host was asking questions, they were making it look like, also from people's tweets, right? They were making it look like Princess actually chased out Jaruma from the entire show. If you all recall that Tutupie staycation where she had invited Jaruma as a sex therapist to come and educate the married women on how to spice up their marriage, right? Their sex life. So yeah, it made it look like Princess actually chased out Jaruma from the entire show, and I'm like, nah. For me, that was just definitely scripted. Yes, for me, there was the possibility that Jaruma was not meant to be on the show, because why would you have been contacted to be part of the show? Why would you have been paid, and then because of one slight altercation with someone that you caused by yourself, you pack your load and then you leave? Doesn't really make sense. And then you don't show up again for the remaining 9 episodes. It doesn't really make sense at all. I just felt like Jaruma making that appearance in episode 3, that was just what she was paid to do, make an appearance, and that was the end of it, So all the questions about, oh, how do you felt leaving, are you going to change, blah, 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 I said, nah, that whole thing was just scripted. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Now, she had been asked about why she had left after her altercation with Princess, and she had explained that, oh, she had been in the spotlight for 9 to 10 years. She was used to the trolling on the internet. She was used to the fame and all, and she felt like that was exactly what Princess was trying to do, be the villain of the show, get all the fame, be in the spotlight, blah, blah, blah. And so she decided to leave so that Princess would also have her own fair share of the experience. And then lo and behold, 3 months later, she's saying that Princess is the villain of the show. Now, Princess was arguing that no, she's not the villain of the show, that it's this one. With this one, she was referring to OJ. Now, OJ was not taking it lightly, as OJ too was firing back at Princess. And guys, it resulted into a very, very heated back-to-back, exchange of words between OJ and Princess. To be frank with you all, I kind of felt like it was quite extreme of OJ to be wishing death on Princess, because according to her, Princess was lying against her. Princess and Tutupie were lying against her. And I'm like, come on, OJ, it has not gotten to that point. According to Nigerians, will say it never reached like that. You're in an altercation with someone and you're telling the person you would die for saying that I am lying. I'm like, come on, OJ, that's a lot. But then you could tell that OJ had seen a lot of the things that both Princess and Tutupie had said about her, from time to time during their confessionals, and she did not like it. But I just felt like that was quite extreme. Now, Jaruma's statement about Princess loving the spotlight, right, obviously raised the question from the host on if they think that Princess loves the spotlight. And guys, we all recall the final episode of the season where Samantha had a lot to say about Princess's always wanting to be aggressive, to pass on a point, always wanting to be in your face, and of course she had wasted no time in agreeing. I mean, even OJ and Arafa, they had also agreed, and all of them, they had cited a similar example that even when they have a shoot or something, Princess always wants to be in front. And guys, I'm going to be frank with you, even though I love Princess's bubbly personality, it kind of looks like definitely Princess loves the spotlight. I mean, hey, she has this larger-than-life personality. She has this vivacious personality. And people like that do not know how to go unnoticed in a crowd. Yes, when they are in a crowd, they stand out, either by their voice, either by the things they say, either by their excitement, either by their looks or their fashion. And Princess has got all of that. And quite frankly, I loved Princess's response to that. That listen, this is who I am. So I'm not going to say that, oh, let me shrink myself a bit so that you will shine. I mean, if you guys are saying that, oh, I always want to be in front during a shoot, hey, there is a way for you to pass. And guys, I kind of agree. I kind of agree. If you feel like someone is literally always shining, you too shine in your own glory. You don't have to shrink as well. Shine, baby, shine. Now, still going back to Jeremiah, there was also the statement she made when she had that meeting with Arafa, and that said that, oh, she does not blame the ladies because they are seeing her and mingling with her. That's why they have room to disrespect her. Normally, she doesn't go out, she doesn't attend events, blah, blah, blah. Guys, I remember that statement was such a turn off for me. I'm like, girl, if you feel like you're bigger than the world, then hide inside your house, or maybe even build a smaller hole inside your house and hide in there so people will not see you or disrespect you. But as long as you are human, you exist, you're alive, and you want to interact with human beings every day, there will be disrespect one way or the other, whether you are nice or not. You know, so when she made that statement, I'm like, what's this one? Like, now in your mind, you're looking at everybody. I mean, guys, if you all recall, in that conversation, she had also called the ladies peasants. She had said that, oh, they're all peasants, you know, beneath her. And then the host had gone ahead to ask her if she stands by her statement. And she said yes. They said, oh, even over your godmother. She said yes. Now, a reason for standing her ground was that if Princess was allowed to hype herself, then she herself definitely would hype herself. Now, guys, it makes a lot of sense, right? Every human being wants to, you know, see themselves as, you know, that very, very important personality. I get it, but the way that statement had come across on the show, guys, it was very, very demeaning, very, very condescending, you know, from Jeremiah to the other ladies. I did not like it at all. As I said before, I felt like it was just a huge turn off. But then she had made light of the situation, and that was where the host had asked her if she felt social status equals social media following, you know, because guys, on that same episode, she had actually said Princess had just 8 followers, and that's because she has, I think, over 1 million followers. And she has said yes, that if it does not equate, then there will be no reason Princess is doing all what she's doing. That is exactly why Princess is being Princess the way she is on the show, just because she wants to grow her social media following. And guys, I'm going to be very, very honest with you. In the world currently, that is what it is. At least in Nigeria, as I know. Yeah. I mean, there are people that strongly believe in that statement, that social status equals social media following. There are people that you will see in real life. They look like they do not really amount to anything, guys. But then on social media, they have a huge following. And then they begin to carry their shoulder up. You know, they begin to feel like, yes, I am bigger than you. I am a VVIP. I am this and that. Guys, it happens. I mean, I've heard of stories where in other parts of the world, okay, let me even use a very, very premium example. A particular influencer I talked about attending an event, and the ticket or the gate passing to the venue of that event is if you have at least, no, it's if you are verified on Instagram. Guys, I heard that story and I was shocked. I say, yeah. So people still do this kind of thing. And yes, I know people will say that, oh, it depends on the kind of event, but it's becoming a social criteria now. If you are public, like if you are big on social media, yes, then you gain real respect. It's fast becoming a thing of the virtual world, you know, determining or even dictating how the real world, you know, will exist. And it's getting scarier by the day. Now, I love the fact that OJ had been asked why she did not use the same energy that Jeremiah was using to fight for her during the reunion, to fight for her, you know, whilst the show was still on, you know, when the ladies had been coming at Jeremiah too was attacking the ladies like that. And OJ's excuse had been that, oh, because she's a very, very calm person, she's a peaceful person, she likes spreading positivity. But guys, I'm going to be frank with you. At that point, I think that was episode 3, yeah? During that episode, I did not even feel like there was any form of relationship between Jeremiah and OJ Posharella, frankly speaking. It felt like OJ was just in this, I don't give an actual fuck world, right? Oh, she brought it upon herself. Let her do whatever she wants to do to rectify the situation for herself. And even when Jeremiah left, guys, I did not see OJ going after Jeremiah. Hence the reason I had mentioned, you know, in more in episodes later, you know, doing my review, that how is it that Jaruma and OJ actually have this godmother-goddaughter relationship? Because from that particular episode where the whole drama was happening between Jaruma and Princess, OJ did not react like she was actually, you know, that close, even sharing this kind of relationship of goddaughter with Jaruma at all, guys. I mean, what do you think about that? In rounding off Jaruma's part, she had been asked if, you know, looking back now, if she would walk away again on the ladies. And she has said yes, that she didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, try this woman. Guys, I'm going to be frank with you. Jaruma did a lot of things wrong. Yes, from that episode, the way she was speaking in a very, very attacky way at the ladies while sharing her experience and even talking about herself, guys, nah, I felt like she was the one that was mean to the ladies and not the other way around. What she did, what she said, actually warranted the reaction of the ladies, especially Princess. I mean, you cannot walk into a group like that and then you are spewing all that trash from your mouth, talking about, oh, I'm here with you guys should be great. I'm like, for where? They moved on to the whole Tutupie getting drunk situation. Now, Tutupie said that the genesis of all the drama was that particular situation. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't understand. They obviously played clips of who started the conversation, right? And it was obviously OJ Posharella giving the gist to Arafa and someone else, right? So I'm wondering, like, okay, Tutupie, did you see that part? Is it just me that missed it, or you missed it? You said that you watched, guys. It was just crazy. But anyways, Samantha was asked, and she insisted that she did not tell Comfort anything about Tutupie being drunk. But then I'm glad that they also showed clips, you know, of where Tutupie had gone to visit Comfort in her house, and Comfort had, you know, been talking to Tutupie about it, where she had confronted Tutupie and told Tutupie that, well, you told me that you were lit, you were drunk, and Tutupie agreed. So I was now confused that, okay, where is all this them say, who said, she said, where is it coming from, when obviously the person herself that actually did this whole thing opened her mouth and said that she did it. Let's quickly move on to the interesting part. This is the interesting part. The whole part of Tutupie claiming that Samantha sleeps with small boys. Guys, remember, we were all pissed. Yes, during that episode when Tutupie had said what she said, we're feeling like, nah, that was just over the top, especially saying such a thing on such a public show. Yes, about a woman that's married with 4 kids. It doesn't really make sense at all. Now, Samantha's stance was that the said guy, that's Tutu's friend, when we're at the club, was going through her phone, checking her kids' pictures that she has sometimes when people, you know, take her phone and then they want to see her kids' picture. And I'm like, okay, that excuse makes a lot of sense, because there's a possibility that people would look at her and say, oh, you're very beautiful. And she would say, oh, I'm married, I have kids. And they will ask her, oh, how many kids do you have? And then she would definitely say that, oh, she has 4 kids. And they will say, oh, it's unbelievable because it looks like you don't even have any kid at all, not to even talk of having 4 kids. Yes. And she would say, oh, to prove it to you, here's a picture of my kids. So guys, such a situation is very, very familiar. I understand. So yes, I could believe Samantha when she said that, okay, yeah, that was the situation. But then Tutu was very, very adamant that that was not exactly what happened. That she turned for a flip second, and when she turned, that the guy was punching his numbers into Samantha's phone. So Samantha was asking, did you see what he was punching? But she did not say she did see what the guy was punching. For her, she believed that that was what the guy was doing. That Samantha even told her the guy was cute. And I'm like, what's wrong with saying that someone is cute? But then Samantha was insisting that she did not say that the guy was cute. And guys, it was very obvious that Samantha was seriously trying to clear the air. Because guys, she totally needs to clear her name. She is a married woman, somebody's wife and mother. Yes. It also, she was very, very insistent. They were arguing, guys. It was a heated argument. Tutupie held her ground. And Tutupie was even saying that, oh, she wants to be 100%, like 1000% honest with Samantha. That, oh, before I met you, and what people said, what I was told was that you married an old rich man, obviously for money, right? And then she sleeps with small boys. And guys, here's the reason I'm saying that this Abuja community of elite, this Abuja community of people that in that high class, they gossip a lot. Word goes around and around and around, and then the truth is, if you even want to see where the gossip is even starting from, sometimes you will never know. What they will end up saying is word on the street. What they will end up saying is, oh, I heard, I was told. Who told you? But then Tutupie stood up and left the set. According to her, she wants to go and pray. Yes, she's Muslim. She wants to go and pray. And then Jaruma stood up and went after her. And I was wondering, like, okay, when did this relationship start? How is it that Jaruma and not Princess is the one going after Tutupie? But then obviously they were at the backstage and Tutupie was saying a lot of things. And guys, I just felt like it just did not make sense. But that is where this part 1 of the reunion show ended. I know for a fact that part 2 is going to be explosive. Because guys, this drama that they are talking about is just in episode 3. There's definitely a lot more. Especially the drama between Arafa and Comfort and Tutupie, Samantha and Princess. Ladies and gentlemen, fingers crossed. We're going to see how explosive it's going to get. So please go ahead. Let me know your thoughts about the part 1 of the reunion show in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Have an amazing day. Bye.